So what's up guys, I'm BlackOpsAmazing, welcome back to another video on the channel where today I'm going to be talking about the one, the only Zombies Chronicles 2, and to be honest, this is probably going to be the last Zombies Chronicles 2 video I make because from the sounds of it, from what we've heard over the past day, to me it finally feels like we have a conclusion. We have a final answer as to what the situation is for Zombies Chronicles 2. Something that obviously a lot of people want, seeing the success of the original Zombies Chronicles that came out all the way for Black Ops 3 back in, 2017? Ever since then, people have been asking for a Zombies Chronicles 2 because the original was so successful. Usually when you have something that does good, especially when it comes to Activision, they end up releasing a sequel. But it's been over 4 years, almost 5 years now since then. We've had 3 other Treyarch Zombies games since BO3. Those were Black Ops 4, Cold War, and we are now on Vanguard. And even though, yes, the original Zombies Chronicles didn't remaster every single Zombies map, there were still so many more remakes that people wanted. Mob of the Dead, Nuketown, Transit, Die Rise, Buried, etc. You could say that we have seen remakes of Nuketown and Call of the Dead, being Toten and Alpha Omega. You can also say that for Mob of the Dead being Blood of the Dead. But unlike the original Zombies Chronicles maps, for the most part where they were faithful remasters, Blood of the Dead, Alpha Omega, Toten, they weren't. They were more remakes, reimagined maps. For me, Mob of the Dead especially is drastically different to Blood of the Dead, whether it's the whole map, the Easter egg, the characters. So yeah, just reminding you of that, giving you reasons why people want a Zombies Chronicles 2, why 4 or 5 years later you still have loads of people asking for it. Well, now I think we've finally got our answer. So anyway, as usual, I see stuff like this pop up on my timeline quite a lot. Someone posted this, I don't know who this person is, whether he's a leaker or just a random person in the community, but he tweeted out 3 pictures essentially saying that Zombies Chronicles 2 isn't scrapped yet. Now obviously this got quite a bit of attention, although like I said this is a daily occurrence, and well, one of the Treyarch developers, who is Kevin Drew, this guy is the lead game designer at Treyarch, he was in charge of the zombie systems and Outbreak with Black Ops Cold War. I'm assuming he's also working on Vanguard Zombies as well, and he replied to a tweet that Treyarch put out, celebrating some changes they were making to Cold War, and someone replied to his tweet saying, if you read the comment section you can see that everyone agrees Zombies Chronicles 2 should happen for Cold War or BO3. Someone then replied to this tweet saying, honestly, I wonder how developers feel when they're flooded with this question in every tweet they make. It must be exhausting. And Kevin replied to this saying, it feels like I want to give 10k to whoever can make Zombies Chronicles 2 and get these people out of my mentions. So that, to me, without directly saying it, is his way of saying that Zombies Chronicles 2 doesn't exist. He specifically says comments like this regarding Zombies Chronicles 2 make him want to give 10k to whoever can make it. Surely, if it was already made, he wouldn't be saying he would give 10k, in a joking way obviously, to whoever could make Zombies Chronicles 2. And to clear this up even more, later on he tweeted out, let me be clear, please keep asking for Zombies Chronicles 2. That passion and demand is what keeps the door open to the possibility of it. Just maybe don't ask in my tweets about a painful situation at work. In my mind, that gives me a pretty clear indication of what the situation on Zombies Chronicles 2. If we've got one of the lead game developers telling us in a joking way that he would give 10k to someone who could make Zombies Chronicles 2, if it was something that was already made and was just waiting to be released as we were told in the past by leakers, I don't think the lead game designer of Treyarch would be saying he'll give 10k to someone who can make it. And when he's coming out after and telling everyone to keep tweeting about Zombies Chronicles 2 and asking for it, because it's that passion and demand that will keep the door open to the possibility of it. Again, surely if Zombies Chronicles 2 was something that existed, I just don't think we'd be seeing tweets like this. We've been told for the longest time by leakers, very credible ones by the way, that Zombies Chronicles 2 has existed since Black Ops 4. Those maps of Transit, Die Rise, Buried, Mob of the Dead, Nuketown, Call of the Dead, maybe there'd be more included, we don't know. But we've been told by credible leakers that those maps have been ready since BO4 and they've just been waiting on the sidelines, ready to be released. The final decision was down to Activision as to when they drop those. I've always questioned why they didn't release them in Black Ops 4, even Cold War. Everyone's always said they were just waiting for the perfect time. I think after BO4's cycle finished, that would have been a good time to release those maps. Also in between DLC 2 and 3 in Cold War, there was a massive gap then, or when Cold War finished. But you could argue for that one, there wasn't too much of a gap between Treyarch's next Zombies game, which was Vanguard. And now we are here in December of 2021, Vanguard Zombies has dropped, we've all seen the reception to this game, and because of that, there are so many people asking for Treyarch to release Zombies Chronicles 2 in Vanguard, just to save it. And well, I think we now have the answer that it probably doesn't exist. But that does make me question then, why did a ton of very credible leakers who have got so much right in the past to do with zombies, or multiplayer, the campaign, Call of Duty as a whole, why were they so convinced that Zombies Chronicles 2 existed? And even a day before Kevin comes out and says this, we get this tweet telling us that Zombies Chronicles 2 isn't scrapped yet. Back in August, we had this article from Game Rant. It was titled, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War players are calling for Zombies Chronicles 2 to be made. And in the comment section, a very credible leaker who was Zesty Leaks said, it's already been made / been made. Excited to see when it releases. Zesty, by the way, is a very credible leaker, so he said back in August that Zombies Chronicles 2 is or has been made. Someone asked him for any evidence of this statement, and he tweeted this out, which was a conversation between him and his friend from June in 2021. He says he has a source that sent us pictures that only an insider would have access to. So the conversation says, Euro was scrapped because Activision couldn't monetize it. Zombies Chronicles 2 is in the works. Euro, by the way, was supposed to be the Warzone map for Black Ops Cold War, but he says that was scrapped and Zombies Chronicles 2 is in the works instead. He says to this, what do you mean though? Like, why couldn't they? Also big W. And his friend says back, they just couldn't find a way for it to be monetizable for both Cold War and Modern Warfare. But there is mention in there of a Zombies Chronicles 2 being in the works. In another conversation from another credible leaker, the Ghost of Hope, in regards to a tweet about Zombies Chronicles 2, he said, yeah, I heard ages ago, around early 2021, that Zombies Chronicles 2 was ported to Cold War and was pretty much ready and would potentially release. Someone then asked him, how do you think it would fit into the story? Or won't they repurpose it, just like the Zombies Chronicles maps weren't repurposed? And the Ghost of Hope said, they literally just won't be story-based, I guess. So the last part of that tweet is a theory, but he does say here, Zombies Chronicles 2 was ported to Cold War and was ready to release whenever they wanted. The final decision would be down to Activision. So again, another credible leaker telling us that Zombies Chronicles 2 existed in Cold War. It was ported from Black Ops 4. And again, another person, Tom Henderson, who I'm sure most of you guys would know of. He leaked a ton of things about Battlefield and other games as well, not just COD. He said, hearing rumours that Black Ops Cold War's Berlin map is the last Zombies DLC map. This isn't the case. There's one more planned for September, and Treyarch still have Zombies Chronicles 2 maps ready to go. But I'm not sure if those will release during Cold War. He said this back in June. He was right about that whole situation of Mauer der Toten not being the last map, because that was a rumour at the time. But he says here, the Zombies Chronicles 2 maps are ready to go, but he's just not sure if they would release in Cold War, and obviously they didn't. So ever since BO4, we've had these credible leakers telling us that Zombies Chronicles 2 existed. They didn't release it for Black Ops 4, so they ported it to Cold War. They never released it for Cold War, so there was speculation that it could potentially be released in Vanguard. But finally, it all comes back to this tweet, where we are being told that, yeah, Zombies Chronicles 2 doesn't exist. But people should keep asking for it, because it's stuff like that that might push Activision to get Treyarch to do it. So I guess that's it then. From the looks of it, Zombies Chronicles 2 never existed. That is, unless maybe Kevin can't say it does because he does work at Treyarch. Maybe there are certain things he can't mention. But I just feel at this point, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Unless things change as we go on through this game's life cycle, or maybe for Treyarch's next game in 2023. Who knows? So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you disappointed? Aren't you bothered? What maps would you like to have seen remastered? Drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.